Good morning, everybody. Hey, Jayne, how are you?
Good morning.
So another year. Here we are.
No. Yay, I can't wait. We were so happy to, wash away 2020 and welcome 2021.
I cannot agree more with that. I think a lot of people can definitely agree as well. I tell you, last year was definitely a very interesting year. We've had to make a lot of adjustments and all that. But, honestly, I have to say, our group did pretty good.
They did. They did it.
They really did.
Amazing.
Hey, I want to say hello. Hey, Terry, good to see you.
Good
Thanks
morning.
for watching. We got Tanya Foster in the house. Tanya, hello. Tammy, welcome. Oh yeah, Tanya, good point right there. 50th. Yeah, this is Century 21's 50th year. That's a good point, Tanya. It's a good year for us. 2021, 50th year for Century 21. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
That's pretty good. So we got a good show for you guys today. Right now, we're just going to give everybody a little bit of time to kind of log on, get situated, settle in. Feel free to leave comments. If you have a specific question as we go through the show, if you don't mind, put a capital Q in front of the comment. That way we know it is an actual question and we can bring it in. We've got a couple of guests with us as well. So we'll have a little bit of Q&A with them once we get going. But first and foremost, Jayne, I'm a tech guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm also a coffee guy. So what happens when those two worlds come together?
You getting a new coffee house, are you?
No, absolutely not. But introducing the Ember mug right here. Can you see that?
Yeah. Does it keep it warm for you? USB
Yes.
there?
I set the temperature. It's even app controlled. I set the temperature on my phone and it maintains it. I got to set it like 140.
You're like, hang on, let me warm my coffee.
It's been sitting there for about an hour.
Has it really?
Still
That's
hot.
Amazing.
Yeah, digging it. So I don't know if anyone else out there has ever heard of the Ember mug, but I highly recommend it. And they have a 10 ounce and a 14 ounce. So I went with the 14 ounce. I mean, if it's going to keep it hot for me, I can drink much more coffee that way. So
See, let me know when they have one that keeps it cold for you. That's I'm on the cold spectrum. So I have that big gaudy cup, shiny cup that I use that keeps it cold most of the day. But
well, you got to drink your water. I do have my glass with me though, so that's good. I'll try to balance out my coffee with my water.
It's good.
All right, guys. So real quick, if you are watching this now, again, leave Q before your question if you have a question. And also, if you are watching this on the replay, we'd like to know if you are. So if you have watched this on the replay, please put in the comment section #TeamReplay because it helps us to gauge our viewership and who's watching where. So with that being said, what I am looking forward to doing is actually getting this show on the roll. How are you, Jayne?
Good. You
Are we
still
ready?
running in the cold weather? I heard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And everything.
We're still hitting it. Yeah, we hit the track and it was like 34 degrees out. But, it was all right. Our kids did good. Not so much for me.
They're young. They can take the cold, right?
They can take it way better than I can. Oh, real quick, Kathy Jones. There you are. Hey, Kathy.
Morning.
Welcome. Good morning to you. We got Veronica McCann. Good morning, Veronica. Welcome to the show. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. We will start with the intro. Here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Advantage Live Show. I'm your host, Adam Gullett. Join with me, my co-host,
Jayne Polivchak. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. So I'm excited about this episode. Today we have a few guests on the show, and one in particular is going to be a really fascinating deep dive into his business, and that is Johnathan Knight. He is a realtor with Century 21 Sterling Realty in West Virginia, And just a little bit about this guy. I mean, I'm telling you, he's got some good knowledge, and he's actually a relatively new agent. This is only his second year in real estate, so that is really cool. But what he has actually accomplished in 2 years is even more impressive. So I can't wait to get into a little bit more of a deeper dive with Johnny Knight. And then we also have one of our own agents with us, Deanna Tyler, out of our Richmond office. We're going to be doing a quick little interview with her, talking to her about her business, kind of how she got into real estate and all that. So again, a power-packed little episode here for you guys. So it's going to be exciting. Everybody excited? Jayne, are you excited?
I'm excited.
I'm pumped.
Tell us what's going on in the news.
All right, so let's start with the news segment right now. We'll do that, and we'll jump into some interviews. All right, so Jayne, here is the news for the day, or actually for the week and the past few weeks, right? So what actually I found was an interview with Mike Meadler, which if no one knows, he is the CEO of Century 21 out of New Jersey, and he's the CEO of the entire franchising company. So he was interviewed by CNBC's Squawk Box. And so what I kind of wanted to do today is, and he really just kind of gave good answers kind of to where we are as a real estate market as of now. And so I wanted to kind of read a little bit of the questions he was asked and his response to those questions, because I think it's going to give us a good idea about what is going on in the real estate market, you know, going into 2021 and maybe even into some of the years here. So one of the questions he was, go ahead, Jayne.
Before you start on that real quick, I wanted to comment. He has been super. He has been really active. He has been texting and emailing the agents and encouraging them. And I think he's been more active than many that we've had before him.
I would totally agree with that. He is definitely engaged with his agent base and in tune to him. He knows what our needs are.
Super encouraging.
Yeah, he's listening to everything we say. I mean, he's readily available.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks, Jayne.
I think it surprised some of our agents too when they got messages. They're like, "Is this for real?" Because they weren't used to having corporate be so involved.
No, that's true. And I will say that is a rarity, and
Yes.
quite frankly, that you don't see in other brokerages and other franchises. He is absolutely available. I mean, he has a busy schedule, but he's right there for us.
Yeah.
Can't say enough. And he's done some really good things even throughout the whole company while he's had the position. So very good point. Very good point. Here's the first question he was asked. He was asked, is this the lowest inventory since back in the 80s? That's what he was asked by the host. And this was his response. He said, yes, we are right at 2.5 months supply, way outside the normal range. Generally, it's about a 6-month supply, 1.28 million homes for sale across the country. And there's major shifts in where people are moving to. More suburban areas with space. I expect this to continue into 2021. Now, Jayne, I know you and I we've past few episodes, we've even talked about this, that we're seeing that pretty much across the board in the company as well. We've got a lot of people moving in.
Yeah, and people are from, larger cities are wanting to move, into the country or move to states where the populations aren't necessarily as high as where they're coming from.
Yes. Yep. I agree. And I think we're going to see that probably continue. I'm not convinced that people are going to be going back to work in the traditional office space this year. I think the corporate world has kind of learned that there is some more. You can actually work from home and be effective.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think the houses that our people are looking for are more suited to that now. I think it's going to change the building industry and what they're making. And back in the 70s, it was very popular to have a study or a library room or an office or something. And then building standards and plans have kind of gotten away from those separate spaces into more open areas, open living. And I think it's going to change some of what people want.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Here's the next question. There were some interesting trends that we were already seeing before the pandemic. This is the host asking him that question. Millennials getting out there and buying homes was starting to increase. When the pandemic goes away, what is all this going to look like? How much of this was from the pandemic and not? His response was, a lot of it is driven by the pandemic. Demand will come from a large number of Gen Zers buying their first home. Expect 24/7 cities to regain some strength. But the driving force will not just be from the first-time home buyers, which still make up about 32% of the market, but millennials will be a large part. There are 9 million of them out there that really are the driving force behind the demand. And what we are seeing, unfortunately, is you get a whole lot of first-time home buyers that are making 5 to 10, 15 offers and not getting accepted. So they get a little bit frustrated, and you might say a little bit of a lull because of people taking a break from the home buying process. It's a generational shift we are seeing, and this is going to continue well into 2021. More households are going to be forming across the U.S. So we got a new generation coming up.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about marketing and prospecting and all that, we're talking about 90 million millennials entering into the housing market. That's a strong buying force right there.
Yeah. And it will affect the way we do business as agents as well. The way they prefer to be contacted, the different things that they're looking for is quite different than what we've done in the past.
Well, that's a very good point. Yeah. We got to be ready to adapt again. I mean, that's the one thing about this industry that is always relevant. You got to adapt. It changes very, very fast. In spite of any pandemic or anything, it changes fast.
It does.
He said, and the next question was, what has this done to pricing? He said, it's been crazy for pricing. That's the one thing you start worrying about. Affordability in general. We have now had 105 straight months of year-over-year price gains. The median home price around the country is right around $311,000, according to NAR. Here's the thing, though. If you look at the median price of a home at the interest rates we are currently at, it's still cheaper to buy a median-priced home and pay the mortgage than it is to rent. Math, guys. So if you're out there and you want to prospect and you want to get some prospects, take that information to a tenant that has good income and convince them, hey, look, guys, you can buy a house and be in it for way less than what you're paying for rent.
Yeah. And with rentals, when you're done renting, you have nothing, you get nothing back. Where, if you move from one home to another, oftentimes you will make a profit in between. Yeah,
absolutely true. All right, and then the last question he was asked, where are you seeing the hottest markets at the biggest price spikes? As you can imagine, a lot of people are fleeing the big cities, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, etc. They are headed to the places like New Jersey. You see a lot of people going to rural mountain towns, which is majority about what we are. And our next guest as well, Johnny, he's from West Virginia, so it'll be his market as well. They're fleeing to these mountainous rural areas. They want more space. They want homeschool rooms. We mentioned this, Zoom rooms and workout rooms. They want land. They want that space. They're working from home. They want to have a way to basically that home has now become their catch-all. Their whole life is being run from there. And so that's what we're going to start seeing, like you were mentioning earlier, the trends, right? The building trends are going to change. The way we're structuring and building homes is going to change because of this. There's going to be more people working from home.
Well, and imagine living in an apartment complex where you had virtually no outdoor space during this time. It would be torture. Not to be able to be outside. For the longest time, the parks were closed. There was nowhere to go outside if you didn't own, a backyard or an area you could be in.
Yeah, totally agree. They want that space. Well, Jayne, that's all the news I got. I just thought that interview was really good. It just really kind of highlighted a bunch of key points that we've already been kind of seeing. So I just definitely wanted to kind of share that a little bit and dive into that. So now we are going to transition over to our special guest. So let's go ahead and fire that up and let's go and interview Johnny Knight. All right, so we're at the next segment here, and we are going to be talking to Johnny Knight. So before I bring him into the show, Jayne, I want to read a little bit about this guy, okay? So I'm going to read his bio to you guys.
He's amazing. He really is awesome. Amazing.
Flat out amazing. So here it is. Johnny Knight finished his full first year in 2019, ranked number 4 in the state of West Virginia for Century 21, closing 36 units and just under $7 million in volume. First year.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2020, he sold 67 units and just under $14 million in volume. Recently awarded the 2020 Realtor Rookie of the Year for his local board and is currently ranked number 3 in the state. He contributes his success to strong leadership and his ability to adapt to the circumstances put in front of him. So, obviously so, right? He enjoys mentoring new agents since he's still fairly new himself, along with bringing value to everyone he comes in contact with. I will say, getting to know Johnny, he is absolutely that last sentence for sure. He has volunteered his time, and he is speaking to agents almost every single day, it seems like. Every time I pop into anything on our workplace group, there's Johnny. There's Johnny being interviewed, talking about what he's done, you know? So let's go ahead and bring Johnny in. Johnny, come on in, buddy. Hey, Johnny.
Hey, thank you, Adam, Jayne.
Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Yes, definitely. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, you are most welcome. Thank you for taking the time to come on here and share some just insights about, Johnny and who you are and all the above, man.
Yes, sir.
So real quick, man, just kind of walk us through the journey that led you to getting into real estate. What was that? What led you from what were you doing originally to now you're now full-fledged into real estate?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, so my story actually began at the Martinsburg Sprint store. I have a background in telecommunications. So I had been there for about 6 or 7 years. And the biggest complaint I used to always get from one of the managers there, and he didn't mean any harm or anything. He just said I took too long with my clients. And me taking too long with my clients was a matter of me building relationships. I had clients that would stand in the store all day just waiting for me to service them. And it led to future business because they'd refer their friends and their family because of the customer service that I provided. Well, all good things always come to an end. And as I was transitioning out of sales, I knew I wanted to go into either car sales or into real estate. And real estate, when I had kind of looked at that and talked to like a real good friend of mine, he had told me that it's all about building relationships. And I knew that was that was my calling. I love building relationships. I love networking. I love bringing value to things that I come across. And I just naturally transferred into that mindset. And I went into there. My broker, Rick Boswell, is phenomenal. And he allowed me to kind of shadow after him.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it right there, relationships, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you first went into real estate, what types of fears and emotions did you have going from what appears to be a pretty lucrative job for you where you had repeat business to transferring into real estate?
Well, the biggest thing for me was my leap of faith. And I don't encourage any new agent to do this, but I jumped in there like feet first, head first. I wanted to be 100% dependent on being successful in real estate. So I went in it full time. I didn't really prepare financially for it, but I knew that if I didn't make it in real estate, I wouldn't make it in general. I had family responsibilities. I have a wife. I have a kid. Now I have another kid. But I just wanted to be 100% dependent on being successful in real estate because failure was not going to be an option for me. So I just gave it my all, and I've been blessed to have, as I mentioned in the overview, strong leadership that they guided me and kind of gave me that extra push and that motivation I needed to be successful.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's really good. So just to the audience and the viewers, we will have a little Q&A at the end. For anybody that wants to ask Johnny any questions, we go through this, feel free to do so. And right now we're just going to continue this conversation. So Johnny, thank you. I think you're dropping some really just key points, how important it is to actually surround yourself with other strong leaders, other people that actually understand what this industry is about and what they've done and how they've done it and how big of a key that is even into your success. I mean, you mentioned your broker and relationships and all that. I mean, that is absolutely a key. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that, they get into a brokerage that really just doesn't have that same environment, that correct environment that actually fosters them to grow. So I think you're wise in saying that is a value for sure, and that's something agents out there should be looking for. They should be looking for a brokerage that has that strong leadership, that understands the real estate industry and is always adapting and changing. And I appreciate you mentioning that. So what would you say is like? Oh, go ahead.
I think I saw an interview where you had some of your leadership people with you, and they commented about how one of the best things was anytime they said, "Hey, you should go do this," you were right out there doing it, and that says a lot about you and your drive to make this work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. With me personally, it's like I'll never want to try to reinvent the wheel. So it's like I surround myself with successful people, and it's like I pretty much just try to imitate their business practices. I know a lot of times agents, especially new agents, when we first get in the business, the first thing they want to know about is like how much they're going to make and what their commission split, and they get commission breath, as they say. And I know my biggest thing is I never even asked. I went there because of the leadership. I went there for the mentorship. I wanted to have a strong foundation. I think that's what really kind of set me apart because I wasn't trying to focus on the money. I wanted to build relationships. I wanted to learn the business.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's good. So let's transition a little bit, Johnny. What would you say is the biggest challenge for real estate agents currently, like going into 21? I know you're relatively new, but what do you think that agents really should be addressing? What challenges do you think they face right now?
Right now, the times that we're in, especially with COVID, it's very challenging for a lot of agents, new and experienced ones. And the biggest challenge, I think, is a lot of people are scared of adapting or being uncomfortable. And my thing was I always wanted to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I tried to do different things that would bring, I guess, different ideas out there. I wanted to be creative. A lot of times when we were first licensed, and I apologize, a
You're
lot of
good.
times what happens is new agents and new people, when they get into real estate, we expect these opportunities to just try to drop in our lap. And with me, what separated and what I encourage other people to is like we have to look for these opportunities. And if you can't find them, you have to create them. So I think that's the biggest thing is there's opportunities to do real estate, to bring value, to help people all around us. We just have to take advantage of it and just be adaptable.
Mm.
So, Johnny, what skills would you say a new agent should be focusing on, where do you think they should put their efforts and attention for this year?
As far as their efforts and their attentions, I think they should focus on just personal development, just learning, especially if they're slow in their business. They need to focus on things that are going to be productive, things that are going to help them kind of figure out what skill sets and things that they need to do to improve. A lot of times people sit around and they just wait, but those are opportunities where you can actually learn and pretty much go back to the drawing board, see what you could have did better. Always analyze what you're doing. I know me personally, it's like I always, after every transaction, I take and review it and I think of how I could have been more efficient, how I could have did it better, how I could have made it smoother, and then I implement it. And that's the biggest thing. It's like a lot of people, they learn things, they hear things, but they don't execute. And I think
That's good.
that's the key is you have to just do it.
I think that's a good point where you were saying, use that time to get education and to kind of set your systems in place so that, when things do pick up, it makes your life easier if you, have analyzed what's the best thing to do, what's the next step, how to do this better.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that's all very good points. I do agree. Yeah, it kind of leads me to the next question too. I've noticed that the longer you're in real estate, you drift away from that, the way you used to do it when you first got started, right? You were a little hungrier, so you're willing to go out there and kind of do the things that made you uncomfortable. And then when you started having some success, you kind of transitioned over to that idea that I can spend some money to bring in the leads, and you don't start, you stop prospecting as much. And then after you stop doing that, then you start overcomplicating the whole entire process. And it just comes this mess of trying to generate leads, and you're trying to chase the next, where do I get these leads, and this new opportunity or this new tech and all this kind of stuff. So I guess my question to you is, are you seeing that as well with the agents you're kind of engaging with? Do you think they're overcomplicating this a little bit? And if so, your success, 67 transactions, right? 67 closed units. That is a lot. And a lot of experienced agents don't even hit that. So what is it that you have seen and what advice would you give an agent's been in this for a long time? Like what kind of basic things can they go back to doing to have those kind of results?
Yeah, well, you nailed it. Just keep it simple. A lot of times, like you said, exactly, people overcomplicate things. My business, my success has been a contribution of building relationships. People do business with those that they know, they like, and they trust. And if you earn someone's trust, you earn the right to sell to them. So that was the biggest thing that I always focused on, even when I was in telecommunications. I'd focus on the relationships. If you focus on the relationships, the transactions naturally will come. I had a lot of my success. I never paid for leads. I never door knocked. I never cold called. I just genuinely brought value to people, and in turn, they brought value to me through business, through referrals. And that's the biggest thing I think with a lot of agents is we just have to simplify things. It's like do what works for you. Do what's comfortable. Everybody has something. Everybody has a skill. Everybody has a gift. And if you focus on those and you work, if you're like the best person when it comes to talking about HVAC, talk about HVAC. If you're the best when it comes to talking about windows, talk about windows. Find what you're comfortable with and work on it. It's like me personally, I build relationships. I always tell people I don't sell houses, I sell me. It's like if you want to buy a house, you're going to buy a house. Just like if you want to buy a car. But it's my job to get you to use me as your agent. So what I do is I focus on just helping people, being genuine, being very transparent. It's like even when it comes to social media, everything I do is public. I want everybody to see me. I want to be relatable because people do business with those that they relate to. So I just try to just be that person where if you think real estate, I want you to think Johnny Knight.
There you go. Well, you kind of mentioned it really good there. Skill, right? It's like talent and skill. We live almost in a society where we're trying to replicate other people's skills and make it our own because it works for them. And there's that idea, and you see it a lot in the younger generation on like Instagram. They're trying to mimic and be these influencers. And they're mimicking other influencers instead of just being themselves. And you see that in real estate. It's like you don't have to do it the way the other person does it. What you do, you're right. You need to emphasize the abilities that you have and the skills that you have and build on those and make that your voice. And that's where you're going to find the most amount of influence. I think that was really well said, Johnny.
Definitely. Yeah, you have to be authentic because when you're not genuine and if it comes off fake, people are going to call you out. And it's very important, especially when you live in like a small community like where I live. I live in Martinsburg, West Virginia. There's not a lot of people. It's like a lot of times my coworkers, we're all intertwined and we're working with the same clients sometimes. So it's like you have to be genuine. You have to be yourself, and it's going to help you stand out.
Man, so Johnny, in your process of the things that you do you have any daily activities? What's your daily planning, prospecting kind of thing look like?
Honestly, it's like my process is so different because it's like I don't like sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna make 300 calls or I don't do that. I just literally just go out and I just help people. I find value in doing things, and I just try to share stuff. I'm pretty active on social media. I just try to be the connector. I want to be the source of the source, and I just genuinely interact with people. My sphere of influence is my social media. And as a new agent, like I was telling Adam prior to this interview, that there's things that I still have to work on myself. It's like me personally, I'm not a big CRM person. And it's like I found success without doing it. It's just that there's systems that I need to put in place now because I found that, hey, it's like being my genuine self. I bring value to people. I get business. Now I have to make it a little easier and simplify it even more by getting organized. So
that's good.
Those are things that I need to work on. But as far as when it comes to like a system, I don't really have anything set out that I necessarily do. I just I interact with people. I just try to make as many relationships as I can. The more relationships you have, the more opportunities you have. And in doing that, it's worked. And it's like one of those things. It's like if it's not broken, don't fix it. So I just keep repeating it.
I think that was good, man. You said more relationships, right? I mean, more connecting and stuff. That, man, well said. That's absolutely what it is, man. The more you get yourself out there, the more people you connect with, and you're leveraging social media mainly for that. That's where you're gaining your influence. Am I correct?
Yes. Yep.
So that would be something you do daily, right? I mean, like how frequently do you post to your social media?
I just post whenever I feel like it, and it's one of those things where every post isn't even about real estate.
Right.
It's like it's just a lot of people, they'll get on there and it's like, okay, hey, they want to tell people a market forecast. The consumer doesn't care about that. They'll do like market forecasts. They'll do things as far as I don't know, just bring value is the biggest thing you have to do is just bring value. Talk about what the people care about. And then something else that I found that works as well is just being out there in the community. Right now, it's a hard time for a lot of businesses. And
Mm-hmm.
as real estate professionals, we are considered public figures. It's like we have a platform, we have a voice. So I use my voice to help grow other people's businesses. I'm sure there's probably some that's listening on this call today that that we network and we talk and we see how we can help each other. It's
Yeah.
one of those things where when you help other people, it's like naturally they're going to help you. And it's a genuine friendship. I always say I don't have clients, I have friends. I got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And what happens is we just help each other. It's like there's enough business to go around for everybody. And I think when you form those relationships, even when it comes to like relationships, a lot of people think, hey, the relationships are important just with your clients. It's not. It's your clients, it's the other agents, it's your brokers, it's the lenders, the appraisers, the home inspectors, everybody. So in building those relationships, it's really going to set you apart. And I encourage any new agent to do that. Just make friends and interact with people. I don't ever have to take and prove to anybody that I'm trying to earn my commission. It's like I just do my job. It's like as a job, as a realtor, is we bring buyers and sellers together. That's exactly what we do. So
That's right.
it's my job to hold deals together. It's my job to problem solve. My job to get people through the biggest transaction of their life.
Man, that's good. Hey, got a question here for you too from Christy Estep. She says, where did Johnny find his marketing worked best, or where his money was best spent trying to get his name out there as a new agent? What do you think, ma'am?
All right. So as a new agent, the best thing that I did, and it was very memorable, I think, but my broker allowed me to do a broker open house when I first got in. And that broker open house got my name out there, not necessarily to clients, but out there to new agents and existing agents. So I did that, and my father, he passed away back April of last year. But my father, he made some of the best barbecue, and I had my dad cater it. I had my mom assist, and we just threw a big party, pretty much for agents. I didn't try to sell anything. I'm like, hey, I'm Johnny Knight. I'm a new guy. It's like, here's a house you guys can check out. But ultimately, we just wanted to build relationships and network. I think that kind of
is awesome.
set me out. And then also, just as far as I'm trying to think of the question again, as far as marketing where it was best spent, I didn't spend. It's like the only thing I spent was my time, and time is money. But that's what I did, and I found that it worked best just in the community. Get involved. A lot of people are scared to be involved with their local board. I love my board. I can't always make the meetings, which I apologize to anybody who's listening, but it's because we get busy. But when you can, just be involved, be a voice. It's like your voice does matter when it comes to things that are going on in your community. And then even if you can't do it, encourage people. And it's like something else that I found is just get my name out there is when I learn something, I don't keep it to myself. I share it. So that helps as well. So it's like now I have agents from other brokerages that reach out to me. My brokerage isn't even really a recruiting brokerage, but we have agents and different people that reach out to me because they see that I'm having success, and all I'm doing is mirroring exactly what my broker did for me. It doesn't brought value to me. It's like he didn't ask me to come work for him. I said, hey, I want to work for you. And that was because of the reputation he had. So I literally, kudos to him, Rick Boswell, like he's the man.
That's awesome.
And it's like I'm very appreciative and grateful for the opportunities that have been set before me.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. Well said. Walk us through your prospect to close system, just for the people here. How do you acquire the majority of your leads? How do you convert those leads? All that.
Okay. All right. So the majority of my leads comes from social media. I will make posts and stuff that would be engaging, and then I bring value. So it's like I get the communication going, and then I bring value. I try to find out what people want, what they need, what's most important to them. I want to know their why. And in doing that, what I do is I start to separate them as far as their motivation, how active they are, if they're serious about this. And then I kind of separate it in the sense that I don't really do drip campaigns. I'm hands-on. I like to have those conversations myself. I don't send automated messages. If I message you, it's me. So what I do is I have those real genuine conversations. I get to know what people want. And as a result, it's like, that's exactly what I do. And it's like, I'm so grateful for even the people that do surveys and reviews for me. It's like you would think I pay them to write these things because it's like I can't say it any better, and it puts a big old smile on my face because I really have people that are supporting me, and they're just wild and they're pleased, and all I'm doing is doing my job. I'm doing what I just assume that everybody's doing. So that's what I do. But I just, as far as from prospecting, bringing value to people, helping people out, I do exactly what they're expecting of me. I always try to think of my experience when I purchased, and it's like things that I liked about how that was done and things I didn't like. And then I just try to see how I can do my job better in bringing value to people. I help them out. And then at the end of the day, we all can rejoice together that, hey, you purchased a house. It's like, now let's celebrate. And then I don't just end the conversation right there. It's like I stay in contact with my clients. A lot of people, and it's proven that a lot of agents, after the sale, that's it. They don't talk to their clients, and their clients think, okay, hey, they're done. I want people to reach out to me. If you have a problem, reach out to me. I have resources. I'm here to help you. It's like, and I think that leads to future business as well, because they know that they're not just a transaction. This is
absolutely not just a number.
Yep, not a number.
So,
Yeah,
Johnny,
that's
is
good.
there anything you do specifically to help build your referral business with the amount of transactions that you do? Is that something that's happened naturally or something that you have to kind of seek out and help with to get that referral business?
It happens naturally, and it goes back to just the volume stuff. Like when people are pleased and they're satisfied and they're happy, they want to tell somebody. And that's what naturally happens. It's like, think about it. You go to a restaurant and you love it. You enjoy the customer service. You enjoy the presentation, everything. You're going to tell a friend about it. So that's what happens. And in a sense, you kind of create raving fans. You have people, and I have people that I'm so grateful for in my community where they always share my stuff. They always will say, hey, if you want to buy a house, call Johnny. And I've never even sold them a house. So that's I guess that's the value of building these relationships and just being a helpful person, and being genuine with it. And I wish it was some magic formula or something I can say where it's like, okay, hey, do this or post this so many times. But it's like, you just have to naturally build relationships.
I think you kind of hit it, man. It's being genuine about relationships. It's about people. It's not a formula. People are not formulas. And people are the same all around the world. So the way we interact, the way we serve, the way we help, it's exactly the same. We all engage the same way. So you're right, man. It's literally about that. That is what is about. That is key. Quit looking for that system that just solves all the problems and just be real. That is so good, man.
Yep.
So good.
And it goes across any platform. Like you said, it's universal. So I don't care what business it is. It's like, apply those methods, build the relationship. A lot of people take the interest, and it's funny because even when I was pushing to hit my goals, and I got distracted slightly because I started looking at my numbers, because I don't look at my numbers. I just sell. I don't say, okay, hey, I had this many under contract or whatever the case is. It's like, I just do it. And when I got distracted for a moment and I started looking, it's like, okay, man, I'm almost at Centurion. My goal was not to hit Centurion this year. My goal was to hit Emerald, which is like the second tier of Masters awards. And it's like, I wasn't paying attention. Before I knew it, I was at Diamond. And then it's like, okay, man, I'm close to Centurion. And I got distracted for a little bit. And then my broker had brought me back to reality. He said, Johnny, just do what you're doing. Focus on the relationships. Don't look at the units. And if you get it, you'll get it.
It's good. That's good.
Kind of takes some pressure off too. If you're not, I'm two away, I'm one away.
Oh, yeah.
So, Johnny, we're coming towards the end here. So we're going to do just some quick little rapid fire questions at you, just some one little bites, and then we'll pop in a couple questions from some people watching. So real quick, here we go. Number one accomplishment so far in real estate.
2020 Realtor Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far?
Well, after I lost my dad in April, and then I had my daughter in August of 2020, life's too short. And it's like, don't hold on to grudges. And I don't know, 2020 was a rough year. So I'd say, and I know it's supposed to be short, but just life's too short. Just don't hold grudges and just go out there and just be the best person you can.
Love more, forgive often, right?
Yes, sir.
What tech app can you simply not live without? Tech or app or anything?
Oh, man, right now I'm addicted to Clubhouse. And if anybody's on there, look me up @ call Jay Knight. I feel like I'm going to a conference every day, and it's like I love going to conferences. I love intermingling and meeting people that are like-minded, because it's like you always want to surround yourself with top performers. If you're going to excel, it's like you never want to be like the smartest person in the room. So I love learning. I love educating. That's the thing that a lot of top producers do, is they never stop learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
What are your goals for 2021?
2021, I want to service and help 80 families.
80.
Awesome, man. That's a good one. I like even the way you phrased that. All right, here we go. So Tanya Foster says, that's absolutely true. Haha, he helped me a lot. So she's giving you some kudos there, man.
Thank you, Tanya.
And then we've got a question here. Do you continue to make mistakes? And if so, how do you bounce back from them and still look confident to your clients?
Man, I make mistakes every day, Moy. And Moy is actually my videographer, so shout out to Moy.
It's awesome.
Social media connections. He's awesome. But yeah, so as far as making mistakes, I make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes that don't go noticed a lot of times, but what I do is I learn from them and I instantly try to fix them, and I own up to them. That's the biggest thing. You have to own it. If you make a mistake, own it and let somebody know, because it's like we're all imperfect. It's going to happen. And my broker says all the time, hey, when people say, oh, that never happened to me, you haven't been doing enough real estate. It's like, if you do enough real estate, it's going to happen to you.
That's true. Well said. Well, Johnny, that's all the time we have, man. I definitely want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. And, you know, hey, the door's always open for you to come back. If you're ever interested, just reach out, let me know. We'd love to have you back on here. It's been awesome. Thank you again so much. Good knowledge. Just love it, man.
Yes. Thank you
Good
for
stuff.
the hospitality, guys.
All right, man. We'll catch you later.
All right. Take care.
See ya. Great interview.
Yeah.
I mean, he's genuine.
He is.
He's genuine. And I think to summarize it, I think that's it. He's genuine with the people he serves, and he's 100% focused on relationships and just keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple.
He made such a good point. He joined Century 21 where he is right now because his leader was the same. He was genuine, he was helpful, he was encouraging, he was all of those things. And now Johnny has become all of those things for other agents as well. So it's kind of like the passing down kind of thing. And you know, if you're that type of person, people want to be around you. You know, they simply want to be around you. And I think that's a big part of his success.
Yep. I think you're right. Awesome. It was good. All right. So we are now going to transition over into our agent spotlight. We've got Deanna Tyler. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right, so we're moving into the agent spotlight. We have Deanna Tyler. She's out of our Richmond office, Century 21 Advantage Realty office in Richmond, Kentucky. So Deanna, come on in. Welcome to the show. Hey, Deanna, how are you?
Hey.
Hey, I'm great. How are you all?
Good. Thank you for coming in, and we're excited to have you part of the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
There you go. There's a bell for you. That's your grand entrance right there.
Do not disturb did not work, so I don't know.
No worries. Hey, Deanna, real quick, thank you for coming as well. But just kind of give us a quick little bio and kind of how you ended up in real estate and all that good stuff for us.
Okay, so I'm a native of Madison County. Was born and raised in Berea. And my senior year of high school, I was co-oping. And the little, it was a little diner that I worked that had like a little country store in the front, kind of like a Cracker Barrel knockoff. And so they were closing, the lady was retiring, and I was working there, and that's where I was co-oping. So if you were a senior in high school, you want to skip half a day. And that is your way, is you work. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to co-op now. What am I going to do? And so a teacher of mine, which Sheila, Reed is just a gem of a lady. She came in one day and she said, Deanna, we have got a call from, it's kind of funny, but it was Century 21. She said they are needing a part-time receptionist, and I think you could do it. So I went for an interview, started there. So I worked there for a little over a year, and all the agents kept saying, Deanna, you've got to get your license. You could do this. You could do this. And so there we go. Got my license in 04.
That's awesome. Hey, Deb Rocky says, hi, Deanna.
Deb.
So, Deanna, what made you interested in other than everyone's encouragement to go from that office position into actually getting your license?
Yeah. So, like I said, I was in high school. I just graduated. So I graduated in May and got my license in August of 2004. And everyone, you know, at that point, you're all thinking of college and that kind of stuff. And Deanna decided to stay at home. And I was like, school was not for me. And so real estate was something that I could be a people person, which I am. So I could still do that and still help people. So I was excited about it, but I was really nervous because it was a big deal. It's either real estate's one of those, either you soar or you flop. And so yeah, it was a risk, but I was excited.
That's true, but that's
sometimes
you took
can
it.
Soar and then flop and then soar again. And,
it's a roller coaster. That's what I tell everybody. And you buckle up and you hang on, or you fall out.
That's right. That's well said. That's so true.
Yeah.
So just to help our audience get to know you even more, so tell us something interesting about yourself that others might not know.
Okay. Well, obviously, I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 girls, and I coach soccer.
Beautiful girls.
Thank you. Yep. They keep my wheels spinning. But I coach soccer, and probably something a lot of people don't seem to know about me is that I used to golf. So
I didn't know that. You're a golfer.
Yeah. I golfed in high school and I loved it. So yeah.
That is one sport, I've got to be honest, I've never played.
Really?
I have a lot of friends that played, but I'm left-handed. And no one had left-handed clubs growing up, so I just never played.
Yeah. And so I guess that's why I live on the golf course now, because I really like it. It's fun.
Do you still play?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome, Deanna.
Yeah.
So what are some of the successes that you've had? Can you think of any really memorable moments?
Oh, man. You know, like I said, I've been doing this since 2004. I absolutely just love helping people. It's probably my favorite, but I had a client, and you know, like people come to us as agents and they're ready to buy a house and they're super excited and you're excited for them. But I guess probably within a year of me being in real estate, I had a couple come to me who had grew up in a certain neighborhood that you were born in, you were raised in, and then you raised your family and you never really got out of it. And so they said to me, Deanna, we are super excited to raise our kids out of here and get out of this neighborhood. And it really hit me like, this is why you do this. It's not for, you know, like it's not for me, it's for them. Obviously, I benefit from it. It's my job. But at the end of the day, I can lay my head down and say I helped someone else. Achieve a dream and a goal is just, it's awesome.
I think that's well said. You know, I kind of had that same kind of sentiment about real estate. What kind of led me into it a little bit was the idea that, you know, one of the unique things about America in general is that home ownership idea, right? It's like that's the ultimate thing that almost everybody wants to do.
Right.
And it drove me into getting into real estate because I was like, man, if I can have a part of that and have an experience in just being able to help someone get to that point, it is a very fulfilling experience.
Oh, 100%.
And yeah, I can relate to that.
Kind of what happened to me. My parents never owned a home. My entire life, they never owned a home. And it wasn't that they couldn't, they just never had anyone help them or never really figured out the process or went through it. Because it is a scary thing to, you know, spend that kind of money on, you know, a property.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So, Deanna, out of all the other brokerages and models that are out there, what was it about Century 20 in particular that made you decide to affiliate with us?
So Steve called me, and if you ever talk to him, he will tell you it took him a solid year to get me to join Century 21 Advantage. And I'm so glad that I did it. At Century 21, you are not just an agent, you're a family member. And that's probably the one thing that I absolutely love about it. Steve is very genuine. If you need him, he is there. He's a phone call or a text away, always. But you're not just an agent in a chair, you're Deanna. And that's probably my favorite and most, probably the best thing about Century 21 that I can tell you, because it's an awesome company. There's so much, but you're not just an agent, you're you.
That's awesome, Deanna. Thank you so much. I would agree with all of that. I think Steve is absolutely readily available, and he is genuine. You know, I mean, he cares. He's there for us, and that means a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It means a lot, and a lot of good people too. I mean, just a lot of good agents. Everybody's there to serve one another. I'm telling you, it's great. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Deanna, was there one decision or turning point that put you on the course that you're on now?
Oh gosh.
So many things, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of things. And real estate is kind of like life. Like I said, it's that roller coaster, and you either buckle up and hang on, or you fall out. And so for me, just really treating it as a business has been huge. And so not just as a hobby, it is my job. And so that probably keeps me on the course and keeps me buckled in on that roller coaster, and keeps me going for sure.
It's good. That's good. Well, Deanna, if somebody is wanting to get a hold of you and they're looking to buy or sell any real estate, and they want to choose you as their agent and represent them, what is the best way that they get in contact with you?
So they can call or text me anytime, 859-302-0898. Or you can always email me at dtyler@century21advantage.com. Full-time agent, and this is what I do, so I'd love to help you.
Awesome. Yep, there you go, guys. If you are looking for a good agent to represent you guys, give Deanna a call. There is her number and her contact information. Please reach out to her. She would absolutely love to serve you guys. Deanna, as always, thank you, and you look beautiful today, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you all. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Take care, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. She's just a sweet soul.
She is. I knew her back when she was the receptionist at Century 21, and we kind of lost touch. She was in a different town, and things like that. But yeah, she has done this a really long time in some aspect, and she's really good at it.
Yeah, she has. She's been in it for a long time, and she's got the experience. I mean, and she knows what she's doing too. She's confident.
Yeah. The biggest thing in our office, people say all the time, do you know so-and-so? And it's like, oh, I think Deanna does. Deanna knows everyone. So, it helps that she grew up there and that, but she makes a point of being friends with so many people. And I think that helps her business a lot. I
agree. Steve says, well done, Deanna. And Deb, I bring this back up. When we asked her kind of some of her stuff that people might not know, she plays piano too and sings in church. That's a good one.
I did not know she played piano.
I didn't either.
That's great.
It's good. Cindy House says great job.
Yeah, her kids are awesome.
They are. They're great.
They really are. They're the smartest, sweetest little things.
They are. They're fun. All right. Well, now, I'm pretty much at the end of the show, but I wanted to read a little bit, a couple things out of Steve Robinson's email that he sent out to all of us for the new year. He's got a couple quotes and just a statement on there I thought was pretty good, and I think it's worth sharing this.
Yeah, it was very thought-provoking. If you read through the different things, it's like, wow, some pretty profound words.
Yeah, I agree, and I think going into the new year, throwing these out there to everybody is the right move. I think getting it out there, because this is for everybody out there. This is not just for real estate agents, and this is something that we all should do. I mean, this is just what we should live this year for.
I wanted to print some out and stick them around places, like you do on your vanity mirror or on your desk or whatever.
Yeah, I want to keep them at forefront, right?
Yeah.
So here's kind of what he, just a couple excerpts, and then we'll get into a couple quotes he added. But he said, "My wish for you in 2021, I wish you a very happy new year, a year full of blessings, a year of plenty, a year of contentment and happiness, a year where there is much more good than bad, much more happy than sad." And I think that's absolutely true. And a lot of times, those type of statements right there, it comes down to a choice, right?
Yeah.
I think we can
mindset.
all.
You have to choose it. You have to choose to look at the happy, focus on the happy over the sad sometimes.
You do. It's not always going to be evident. There's going to be a lot of bad stuff that happens, obviously, throughout the year. We're not being naive to that. But when that bad stuff happens, you can choose your response to what that bad stuff is. And I just think that's good. 2021 is a year of opportunity. Work harder than you ever have and claim your opportunity. In other words, claim it. You're not going to get it just by waiting. I mean, if we go back to like the talking with Johnny and Deanna, and you're just not going to, nothing's going to happen if you're just waiting for opportunity to land in your lap.
It's true.
So here are a few New Year's quotes that I really like that may help provide a little inspiration. "We will open the book. Its pages are blank. We are going to put words on them ourselves. The book is called Opportunity, and its first chapter is New Year's Day." So when it begins. Edith Lovejoy Pierce said that.
Yeah, I think that's really important right now. I know a lot of people were anxious and happy to see 2020 go away and looking forward to 2021. But I know some people were discouraged that things weren't instantly different. Like we didn't all wake up the next morning and have everything not be the same as it was the day before. But I do think there's a light at the end of the tunnel where we're seeing things getting better and better. And hopefully soon, it will be more and more, normal for us.
Yeah, I agree with that. "What the new year brings to you will depend a great deal on what you bring to the new year." Vern McClellan.
Yeah.
I mean, yep.
That speaks for itself.
I hope that in this, as he learned from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. Albert Einstein. So I think that's good. If we break that down, we look back and we see we don't focus on the things that are bad that we can't change, but we take the ones that we maybe could not have changed, but the ones we can learn from, apply that to our lives. We then do not worry and fret about the future. We live now in the presence based on what we have learned in the past, make decisions based on that. And then we are hopeful and joyful for what the future brings. Great mindset.
Yeah, it is.
All right, last one. I hope that in this new year to come, you make mistakes. Because if you are making mistakes, then you are making new things, trying new things, learning, living, pushing yourself, changing your world. You're doing things you've never done before. And more importantly, you're doing something. Neil Gaiman.
Yeah. I mean, you can't fail if you don't try. So, some of the things are going to be a hit and some of the things are going to be a miss. But the important thing is that you keep swinging, that you keep trying.
That's right. And embrace the mistakes, embrace the failures.
Yeah.
Keep going out there and doing it. I mean, we're doing this live show. We're not experts at this.
No, not even close.
It takes us out of our comfort zones. I mean,
My phone's still ringing.
Good old real estate never ends. So, all right. That's the end of this show, guys.
50th
go ahead.
year anniversary real quick before you wrap up.
Yes.
So if people weren't logged on in the very beginning of the show, it is Century 21's 50th anniversary this year. That's huge. And that shows some real longevity for our franchise.
Man, absolutely true. That is one thing to absolutely mention. I've quite frankly never come across somebody that when they ask who you work for and I say Century 21, I got to follow that up with an explanation on that we're a real estate company. Ever. Mm-hmm. No. I've never had that happen. So that says something to a brand that's been around here that for 50 years now. 50 years.
Well, it's been the number one most recognized real estate company for decades and decades of that time. So,
yes. So real quick before you even sign off, we got a few little things here. Steve Robinson definitely says, thanks, Johnny. I can't say enough. Yep. Thank you, Johnny, for logging on and being part of the show, and Deanna as well. Let's see. We've got a couple other comments before we sign off. Deb. Deanna responded to Deb here. She says, I do sing, not often. I don't play the piano. I need to learn. Ha, ha, ha.
I always wanted to learn to play. I never did either. Not well, anyway.
Yeah, no, same. Terry Woodward gives us a big heart eyes. There you go. Thank you, Terry. Kathy Jones says, very good. Deb, love it.
I'm so happy they could all join us this morning.
Love it. Yeah, I love having participation, having everybody part of it.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we wanted to do this. It's like we can stand behind a camera and record and all this kind of stuff, but man, we love this interaction. I like having everybody a part of the show. I think that just makes it even more fun. Cindy, great point. You've gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah, that's a fight every day.
Yeah, it's
every
funny
day.
you all don't understand. Adam and I, right before the countdown of this, we're both like, we don't want to.
Yeah, there's this internal battle going on for sure. But then once you hit that go live button and you're in the moment, man, it's fun. It's great interacting with everybody and seeing people.
You try to forget that, all this is happening.
You do. So, all right. Well, let's do a quick little sign off. So if this is your first time here, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching it on YouTube. We do this every single Friday at 10:30 Eastern time. And you'll also be able to find us on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to like the page, and as well as hit the little reminder button underneath anytime we post a live video that's going to be scheduled in the future, and you'll be notified once we go live. So I definitely want to say thank you to everybody.
Next Friday, I'll be in Florida, so I will show you the beach, hopefully, from where I am.
There we go, the beach. We'll see the beach. Oh, and I'll mention this too before we sign off. So that's awesome. You're going to be on the beach, and then we're also going to have this guy, Mark Given, on. He is coming on the show. Let me see. Slide it. Yeah, there we go. Slide it this way. So Mark Given is coming on the show. He is the author of 9 really top-selling books on Amazon. And he is coming on the show for a little interview tomorrow, or for next Friday, and that'll be fascinating, and I can't wait to pick his brain. He actually has had a real estate license for many years, so he's been a licensed real estate agent. And a lot of his life lessons in his book series, the Trust-Based Philosophy series, is based on the experience that he has had through real estate. So even though he's more of a motivational speaker at this point, there's a lot of tie-in to real estate. Matter of fact, he teaches a lot of the designation classes as well. So he's well informed.
And I think it'll tie in a lot to what Johnny and Deanna said today. That trust is built off of, a foundation of good relationships with the people that you work with and deal with. Yeah,
I agree. It's a great tie-in. All right. Well, that's the end of this show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Advantage Live Show. We'll see you next Friday at 10:30 a.m. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend and a great week next week, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye, everyone.